Good morning and welcome to WPI for day 2 of the 2022 New England Swimming 15 to 18 Age Group Championships, brought to you in part by A3 Performance. We'd like to thank A3 Performance, a proud partner of WPI Swimming and Diving and sponsor of the New England Swimming 15 to 18 Age Group Championships. Emerging as the industry leader in racing and training technology, A3 Performance is the fastest growing brand of competitive swimwear in the United States. Visit a3performance.com to learn more about Vici, the most advanced racing suit in the water. A3 Performance, lead, innovate, inspire. Good morning, everyone. I am Jeremy Abreu, bringing you day 2's action here today from WPI in the beautiful city of Worcester, Massachusetts. We have a fast session this morning of swimmers. We're going to start it off with the 200 IM. We'll move on to the 50 freestyle, onto the 2 breast, and we'll finish with the 5 free today. So, session scheduled to end at 11:15 this morning. I was struggling to find a helper this morning. I do have Anna Meinholz from A3 Performance, who is actually going to come up here and help me out with our camera switching and stuff so I can try and focus on the action in the pool and not make any fundamental mistakes with names or everything else. It's been a very good meet thus far. A lot of amazing performances, a lot of top times. We saw Natalie Mannion atop the leaderboard or atop the podium a few times last night with some solid performances. This is the first day that fans are being allowed inside WPI. So have a decent little crowd. I expect to have a good crowd on the live stream as well. Looking at probably around 100 people in here. So I think I lost some of my audience. Hopefully we'll have a good showing this morning on the live stream as well. Parents, timers are in position. We're going to be getting started at 8:45. Again, first event's going to be event 15. The women's 15 to 18 200-yard IM. It seems like we have our internet issues that we had last night squared away. So we had some bandwidth issues last night, which was causing a lot of glitching in the live stream. Fortunately, we've been able to get that taken care of. Or actually, WPI has been able to get that taken care of for us, so we certainly appreciate that. That is all set and fixed, so we should have a very clear broadcast this morning. We like to have a non-eventful broadcast. That's the best way to put that. The pool is clear right now. Officials seem to be in place. Anna's going to be joining me very shortly. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast last night. We had Anna's dad, Dan Meinholz, the founder and owner of A3 Performance, on. I know I certainly learned a lot about tech suits yesterday and the materials and all of that good stuff. They're putting together a great product. By the way, if you are interested in giving one of their tech suits a try, there is a coupon code for this event. So if you do purchase one of their suits at a3performance.com, you can use the code FAST10. So that's FAST, F-A-S-T, the number 10. You'll be getting a 10% discount there on one of their suits. So what appealed to me really about their suits is the pricing. I'm used to paying $400, $500, sometimes even $600 for a tech suit. And the price point, especially the entry price point, certainly makes it very attractive for me as a parent, and I'm sure for you as a parent as well. So check them out, a3performance.com. You see the lane assignments for our first heat. It's already seated. Officials are ready to go here. When Anna comes up here, I'm going to take a quick break just to go over things with her, and I'll be back on, and we'll be back ready to get the day going. Appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here. If you haven't already, get that link out to all your family, friends. Get it out to anyone and everyone that you can. We certainly appreciate all of the viewership that we get on the channel. This is a fantastic meet. All of these swimmers deserve all of the support that they can get. A lot of fast swimming last night. I would have liked to have gone over some of the results. We're a little pressed for time here. Was working through some last-minute issues this morning, so we can, as the day goes on, maybe even tonight, we'll jump into that. There'll be no awards this morning, so all the awards will take place tonight after the event. It seems like it was the top 3 who were getting awards last night, so we'll bring you all of that action when we do go down to the public address. Announcer Mark Wild, we do have a live feed into him. Numbers are climbing. We're up to almost 75. I anticipate we'll probably have 100, a little over 125 people on the broadcast. We're going to go to our public address announcer, Mark Wild.
15 to 18 age group champs. This morning we'll start with the women and men's 200-yard IM, the ever-exciting 50 freestyle, my favorite event, the 200 breaststroke, and we'll round out this morning session with the 500 freestyle. As a note, if you placed in the top 3 last night and did not get your award, we have the medals and labels located at the clerk of course table. Coaches and swimmers, the scratch deadline for tonight is 5:30, and the time trial deadline is a hard 10:30 a.m. Again, time trials must be filled out and paid before 10:30 to enter.
All right, so we're back and almost ready to get started. We do have Anna Meinholz with us from A3 Performance, so she has graciously volunteered to help me with the camera switching today, which, believe it or not, is a very big job when you're getting into the broadcast, like I certainly do. Sometimes you forget to hit some buttons, and I've done that far too many times to know that I always need someone. We were pressed for volunteers this morning. It is the Rhode Island State Championships today, so there are a lot of swimmers missing from WPI here, especially from our team, Gators. Here we go, folks. We're ready to go. Heat number 1. This is the women's 15 to 18 200-yard IM. Lanes 1, 8, and 9 will be open. Sally Ray in lane 2. Maria DePietro's not in lane 3. So Sally Ray in lane 2, Riley Reeder in 4. Lily Yu in lane 5, Mary Powers in 6, Honor Dufresne in lane 7, and Finn Bergquist in lane 8. Off and running here at WPI. This heat sheet is very small today. The letters and numbers are extremely small, so top time coming in belongs to Lily Yu, it looks like, 2:18.96. Yu indeed is leading the way, followed by Bergquist and Powers. And folks, you do not understand when the technology works great. It's such a relief. The internet issues last night were such a stressful thing to me as I watched the video glitch on the screen literally every 4 or 5 seconds and could do nothing about it. So glad that that has been resolved today. Let's knock on wood that we won't have any more issues this weekend. Continues to be Lily Yu leading the way. She's out in a 103.84, followed closely by Honor Dufresne and Mary Powers. So our top three swimmers, actually Bergquist in fourth. Our top four swimmers only a second off the pace that Lily Yu has set. My partner here is far too humble to talk about this, but she is a very well-accomplished former Division I swimmer at the University of Wisconsin, swam at Olympic trials, competed in the NCAA conferences all 4 years. She swam at Wisconsin, went a sub 2-minute 2IM, which I know a lot of these women are chasing here. And if I look at our heat sheet, we have one swimmer, Natalie Mannion, coming up in our final heat. She's going to Stanford at a 1:59. So chasing that sub 2-minute 2IM is a monumental achievement. So you're wearing good hands up here, wearing good hands with Anna. So Lily Yu will take our opening heat. 2:16.42 for you. Dufresne goes 2:18.57, and Powers goes a 2:19.47. Whoops. No, what am I doing? I don't want to do that. There we go. There's heat 2, and there's your lane assignments. Samantha McClintock in lane 1, Maren Hemmett in lane 2, Bonnie Zhao in 3, Reagan Bullman in 4, Song Wadekis in 5, Jelena Plucha in lane 6, Kylie Herbstuber in lane 7, Christine Tang in 8, Angela Parasolt in 9, and Catherine Henry in lane 10. Busy day for Angela Parasolt. She'll swim here this morning, head down to Brown University for the Rhode Island State Championships. The girls start at 2:30 this afternoon. So best of luck to Angela and her North Kingstown High School teammates. It is Plucha leading the way, followed by Zhao and Parasolt. So Parasolt in third place, only 0.2 of a second behind. They'll swim a 50 of each stroke. They'll start off with the butterfly, move into back, transition to breast, and then finish with freestyle. First day that fans have been allowed here at WPI, and I have to admit there are more fans in the stands than I thought and anticipated there would be. Pretty crowded environment here at WPI. Plucha remains in first, but it's the aforementioned Parasolt who has moved from third into second. Tang goes from fifth to third. So a couple movements there. Parasolt very strong with the breaststroke. You'll see her in lane 9 toward the top of the screen. So Parasolt and Tang, along with Jelena Plucha, leading the way. See who touches first, and it's going to be Parasolt, who has gone into the lead in lane 9. Tang second. Herbstuber is in third right now, so she moves from 9th at the 100-yard mark to third at the 150, so she had a solid breaststroke. And it looks like it's Christine Tang in lane 8 at the top of your screen from Bluefish. The 15-year-old came in with a 2:17.46, and it will be Tang who takes it. 2:14.27. Sammy McClintock will take second. Parasolt will take third. There are your results. Christine Tang, your Heat 2 winner. We'll move on to Heat number 3. Fast and furious pace here this morning from WPI. Sophia Rojas in lane 1, Brooke Wager in lane 2, Zoe Holmes in 3, Sophia Della Caletta in 4. Actually, we do not have anybody in lane 1, so Rojas is empty. Frankie Dolby in lane 5, Emily Richardson in 6, Rebecca Siegel in lane 7, Shauna Harney in 8, Isabel McGovern in 9, and Maggie Holland from Gators in lane 10. Another one of those swimmers who will be competing here in the morning and heading down to Rhode Island to Brown to compete in the state championships for Rhode Island this afternoon. It is Rebecca Siegel from Greenwood leading the way, followed by Holmes, Zoe Holmes, and Sophia Della Coletta running in third right now. It's Siegel continuing to lead the way through the backstroke. She'll touch the wall at a 1:00:25, transition over into breast, followed by Holmes and Dolby. So Siegel has built up just about a 2-second lead on Holmes swimming in lane 3. So Holmes is in lane 3 with the orange cap going left to right. Right now, she's from Snapfish, I believe. Snapfish, Snapfire. Snapfish is like a camera photo printing company, I think. So Siegel now in lane 7 is the leader. She's from Greenwood Swimming. She'll touch the wall and make her turn for freestyle. She's followed by Della Coletta and Holmes. They're your top 3. They're only separated by a second. So 1 second separates our top 3 swimmers. Here comes Della Coletta from Crimson, who is now, looks like she's moved into the lead. She has ever so slightly. Looks like it will be Sophia Della Coletta, your Heat 3 winner coming out of lane 4. She goes at 2:11:63. Siegel takes second. Holland takes third. She is an A3 Performance Heat winner. So she'll get to stop by the A3 Performance booth, get a ticket for some free swag. Always appreciated. We'll move into heat number 4. Elizabeth Nesta in lane 1. Ro Dudevor in lane 2. Charlotte Molson in lane 3. Isabella Smith in 4. Ayana Fulger in 5. Mila Vuoltinaho in lane 6. Hope Zayafith in 7. Chloe Song in 8. Riley Nussbaum in 9. And it's Lauren Jolly in lane 10. Congratulations to Lauren. Met Lauren and her mother last night out to dinner afterwards. Lauren got her first NCSA cut last night in the 100 fly. I know she was very excited about that, so congratulations to Lauren. It is Chloe Song leading the way, followed by Zayafith, and the aforementioned Lauren Jolly in lane 10. She's currently in third. A little over a second off the pace being set by Chloe Song in lane 8. The 18-year-old from Greenwood comes in with a time of 2:14:14. Moving along very well in lane 8 as she'll transition into breaststroke. She's followed by Zayafith and Jolly. So no change at the top, 1, 2, and 3. Song putting a little bit of distance between herself and Zayafith right now. About a body length. The rest of the field pretty tightly packed. Lanes 1 through 6 and lane 10, that is Jolly. Song will touch and turn to freestyle. So it has been the Chloe Song show here in Heat 4. She's led from the beginning. She went out in a 26.6. Zayafith second, almost 4 seconds off the pace. Her Crimson teammate Isabella Smith is running third right now. And it will be Song who takes it, 2:05:36, so gigantic 9-second time drop for Chloe Song. Hope Zayafith takes second. It's Elizabeth Nesta taking third. There are your results. We'll move into heat number 5. Your lane assignments are in front of you. Harper Stevenson has the top time coming in, 2:12:42 from PVA. So I believe PVA is Purple Valley Aquatics. Braylon Wilson in lane 1, Debbie Wells in 2, Abigail Topfer in 3, Amalia Guerra in lane 4, the aforementioned Stevenson in lane 5, Elma Schad in 6, Sophia Dimitrik in lane 7, Allison Rochi in lane 8, Jacqueline Story in 9, and Caitlin Lacey in lane 10. Pretty tightly grouped bunch of swimmers here. It is Caitlin Lacey from lane 10 leading the way after Butterfly. Topfer second, Wilson third. About 0.2 of a second separate our top 3 swimmers, so not much separation there. Lacey has made the transition to backstroke, and she is still leading the way. So in lane 10, at the top of your screen, it is Caitlin Lacey, the 16-year-old from Gators. Should be your leader at the halfway mark, followed by Rochi and Dimitrik. Lacey leads by about 0.1 of a second. Can see just how close it is, with Sophia Dimitrik and Allison Roach in lane 8. It looks as though Roach has now taken over the lead. So Allison, on the heels of a very strong breaststroke, will be your leader going into freestyle. 2-second lead over Topfer, Wells, Dimitrik. 3 seconds on Lacey. Allison came in with a 2:12.88. She'll go out in a 2:09.67. Topfer takes second, Wells takes third. There are your final results for heat number 5. We'll move on to heat number 6. McKenna Murray in lane 1, Claire Neely in lane 2, Jenna Charlotte in 3, Gracie O'Connell in 4, Dana Lee in 5, Katie White in 6, Savina Villani in 7, Meredith Teague in 8, Alexa Lundell in 9, and Emma Vilou in lane 10. I had a nice conversation with Dana Lee's mom earlier this morning, thanking me for the live stream. They have a lot of friends and family who watched the live stream, and it is Lee leading the way after the butterfly. Lee came in with a 2:02.46, a good 4 seconds faster than our next swimmer in this heat, and that's Katie White from Bluefish, and they are 1 and 2 right now. So Lee, White, Vilou, 1 and 2. Here in heat number 6. This is the first of the circle-seeded heats this morning. Heat 6, 7, and 8 are circle-seeded. Dana White comes in as the 3rd overall top qualifier. She continues to lead the way in the middle of the pool in lane 5. Followed by White and Jenna Charlotte. So Charlotte goes from 8th place for the fly to 3rd place after the back. So a nice backstroke there by Jenna. But it's Dana Lee continuing to lead and extend that lead as she'll turn to freestyle here in our 6th heat of women's 200 IM. Lee chasing that 2:02.46. That was her seed time. 3rd overall top time coming into this event this morning. Lee will cruise to victory, 2:04.67. White takes second. 3rd place goes to Neely in lane 3. There are your final results for heat 6. We'll move on to heat number 7. Moving right along here this morning at WPI, day 2 of the 2022 New England Swimming 15 to 18 Age Group Championships, brought to you in part by A3 Performance, hosted by WPI. Sarah Bernard in lane 1, Clara Renner in lane 2, Clara Bodner in lane 3. Nobody in lane 1, actually. 1 is open, 10 is open. Ava Yablonsky in lane 4, Eliza Brown in 5, Alden White in 6, Dyer Ackerman Valala in lane 7, Christina DiPietro in lane 8, and Sid Abild in lane 9. So lanes 1 and 10 are open. Eliza Brown comes in with a 2:01, so she's your second fastest qualifier coming in. This is another circle seeded heat, and it is Brown leading the way, followed by Renner and Yablonsky. We saw Eliza Brown have some great success yesterday here at WPI. Leading off the morning, looking very strong as well. She'll be your leader at the halfway mark. 57.89 for Brown. Yablonsky is second behind, as is White, DiPietro, and Bodner, all between that 1 second and 1.5 seconds. But as you can see, Eliza Brown building about a body length lead on Ava Yablonsky in lane 4 and Alden White in lane 6, and it looks like it's White who has moved into second. Strong pull out there. Brown will make her transition over to freestyle. Brown, White, and DiPietro leading the way. So Eliza Brown will coast to victory. Nice swim by her this morning. 18-year-old from Commonwealth. Came in with a 2:01.48. She goes a 2:03.82, which I believe is our fastest time this morning. White takes second. DiPietro takes third. 1 heat remaining. You'll see Natalie Mannion, who comes in with the top time overall, 1:59.03. So Mannion flirting with 1:58. She'll be in lane 5. Of course, my daughter is in this heat, so a little nerve-wracking here. Addison Abreu in lane 3. Haley Pinola in lane 1. Laura Doobie in 2. Addison Abreu in lane 3. Avery Lord in 4. Natalie Mannion in lane 5. Amanda Whitkiss in lane 6, Natalia Robach in lane 7, and it's Elle Anthony in 8, Charlotte Hoover in 9, Kelsey Dador in lane 10. And to no one's surprise, it's Mannion who's out in front early. It was actually Whitkiss touching first. Mannion 4/100ths behind. Lord behind her. Anthony Abreu, Hoover, Data, Doobie, Pinola. Mannion, Lord, Whitkiss, Abreu. Mannion now leading the way by just under 2 seconds over Lord. Whitkiss a little over 2 seconds behind, and Addison Abreu 2 3/4 seconds off the pace. Mannion, Whitkiss, Lord, Anthony Hoover, Abreu, Doobie, Dater. There's the order. As we turn into freestyle, it will be Mannion and Whitkiss battling it out, but it is Mannion who has pulled ahead. So Mannion takes first, Whitkiss second, Lord takes third, Abreu takes fourth. We'll move into the men's 15 to 18 200-yard IM. Okay, so folks, some tough names in this heat. I'm going to do my best, like I always do. Give it the old college try. Lanes 1 and 10 open. In lane 2 from Crimson, it's Jira Sangthong. In lane 3 from Solo, Sam Whitaker. In lane 4 from GMA, it's Derek McIntyre. In lane 5, Will Estevez. In lane 6, Gary Podstrelov. In lane 7, Tigran Danagulian. In lane 8, it is Ben Scher. And in lane 9, it is Austin Lee. Our opening heat of the men's 2IM. Estevez leading the way, followed by Danagulian and Scher. Top time coming in does belong to Estevez in lane 5 from United. And he's built a pretty sizable lead as he'll transition from back into breast. It's followed by Podstrelov and Danagulian. Ben Scher running a very close fourth, as is McIntyre. So the battle for the top spot still wide open. Fantastic pull out there in lane 4 by Derek McIntyre from GMA has put him into the lead. So McIntyre goes from 7th place to 4th, and now he is your leader. McIntyre leads the way, followed by Danagulian and Estevez. They typically say if you are a good breaststroker, you are a good IMer. You saw McIntyre there with a solid pullout on the back half of his breaststroke, really catapulted himself into the lead. McIntyre takes it 2:05.08. Danagulian takes second. Podstrelov takes third. There are your final results there. McIntyre, Danagulian, and Podstrelov. As we move into heat number 2. Heat 2 in the water. Mia Chambers, I do agree with that comment. Being in the water with Natalie Mannion, the way Natalie swims, very difficult. Can be either super motivating if you're able to hang with her for a little bit, or super demoralizing if it's if there's a wide spread there. But all tremendous performances. Heat number 2 here in the water. Gabriel Herzlinger from Crimson comes in with the top time, 2:04.72. It is Bailey, though, leading the way. Sean Bailey from Executive, followed by Levi and Cole. Those are your top 3 after the fly. Backstroke underway, and it is Sean Bailey continuing to lead that way from Executive in lane 7. He comes in with the 2:06.11. Jordan has now moved up into second. That's Liam Jordan from Charles River Aquatics. Matthias Levi, his Charles River teammate, is in third right now. So Charles River second and third, Executive leading the way. Again, Sean Bailey in lane number 7. But here comes Hugo Beeson from Charles River Aquatics. It looks like he's moved into second place in lane 4. He has. So Bailey, Beeson, Chen, Herzlinger. They're all within 2 seconds of each other. So lanes 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. It's anybody's race, really, for second place. Sean Bailey will be your Heat 2 winner. Bailey takes it in a time of 2:00:93. Jordan second, Cole third. There are your final results for heat number 2. We're up to almost 150 people on the live stream, so we got our biggest crowd of the day of the weekend so far. So we got almost a packed house here at WPI in person. We have 150 of you out on the live stream, so I'm thinking we have over or around 300 people tuning in. Ryan Connors in lane 1, Jack Ventry in 2, Jeff Kong in lane 3, Jaden Noel in 4, Yuval Yorov in lane 5, Melson Javen Aquilano in 6, Andrew Dew in 7, Andrew Dementiev in lane 8, Dawson Milligan in 9, and Jaden Chin in lane 10. It is Aquilano leading the way by a 10th over Dew right now. Jorov running in 3rd. So Aquilano comes in with the top time, 2:02:65. Actually, he comes in with the second fastest time to Jorov, 2:02:42, but it is Aquilano leading the way at the halfway mark. With the turn from back to breast, always a pivotal turn in the IM, a lot of different ways you can make that turn: open turn, bucket turn, crossover turn. Seems to be the bucket turn is the most popular, most efficient. Still see a lot of swimmers doing an open turn. And here comes Yorov in lane 5, so he's battling with Aquilano as they'll move into freestyle.
Sophia Del Coletta and Hope Zayeveth. Swimming in your B final, Emma Villiers, Abigail Topfer, Clara Renner, Sabina Villani, Meredith Teague, Claire Neely, Allie Anthony, Addison Abreu, Allison Roche, and Clara Bodnar. Swimming in your A final, Christina DiPietro, Avery Lord, Katie White, Alden White, Chloe Song, Amanda Whitkiss, Dana Lee, Natalie Mannion, Eliza Brown, and your top seed for Bluefish, Sid Ablid.
So there are your finalists for the IM. Here is your results from Heat 3. It was Aquilano, Jorov, and Milligan going 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully you caught the 200 IM finalists. Here are your lane assignments for Heat 4. Ridivuth Che in lane 1, Callum McDonald in lane 2, Andrew Song in 3, Elliot Morris in 4, Nicholas Austin in 5, Henry Campbell in lane 6, Bradley Waters in 7, Damian Figuet Kosarev in lane 8, Pierce Broush in lane 9, and Timothy Johnson in lane 10. So keep an eye on Figuet Kosarev for Gators, one of our top breaststrokers here. Was in 10th last night going into the breaststroke in the 4 IM. After, came out of it in 3rd place. He did drop down after that. Johnson leading the way, followed by Waters and Che. Bradley Waters leading the way with that green cap from Seacoast. He'll make the turn from back over to breaststroke. He has a 3/100th of a second lead on Johnson in lane 10. So some outside smoke in 10 as well as lane 1, and that's Timothy Ridivuth Che. Johnson in lane 10. It's getting a lot tighter for Waters here in lane 7. Austin may have taken the lead. And it is Austin first to the wall, followed by Waters and Johnson. Campbell in fourth, 8/10 behind. So our top four swimmers, 8/10 of a second off the mark. Good battle here between Austin, Waters, and Johnson. Looks like it's Waters who has once again surged ahead, and it will be Bradley. No, it won't. It will be Johnson. So Johnson sneaks in lane 10. Good swim for Johnson. Waters takes second. Campbell takes third. As we move into heat number 5. Nice victory there for Timothy Johnson. So lane 1 will be open here in heat number 5. No Nathaniel Murray. John Fernandez in lane 2. Ethan Macanucci in 3. Luke Jaguar in 4. Christopher Smith in 5. William Fuchs in 6. Quinn Borchers in lane 7. Davis Bonebreak in 8. Nicola Hench in lane 9. And Samuel Kaplan in lane 10. Smith leading the way, followed by Bonebreak and Borchers right now. Top 3 a second apart. Once again, we'd like to thank A3 Performance for being a sponsor of these 15 to 18 age group championships. Visit a3performance.com to check out Vici and Nova. They're elite and entry-level technical racing suits emerging as the leader in training and racing technology. A3 Performance, lead, innovate, inspire. You can also use the discount code FAST10, so that's F-A-S-T, the number 10, for a 10% discount on any of your technical racing suits this weekend. So hurry over to a3performance.com for that. Christopher Smith continues to lead the way from Crimson. Borchers in second, Hench third. Smith battling with Borchers in lane 7, but it will be Smith who takes it. 156.21. Borchers takes second. Macanucci takes third.
156.2 there for Smith, heat 6.
There are your final results. We'll move into heat number 6. Moving right along here this morning. 50 freestyle next. Lightning Warfare for those. Ryan McFadden in lane 1, Luke Austin in 2, Benjamin Lee in lane 3, Quinn Caputo in lane 4, William Ayonon in 5, Jake Thomas in 6, Caleb Del Rosario in 7, Henry Bocconi Shore in lane 8, Reed Nussbaum in 9, and Andrew Kelly in lane 10. Ayonon leads the way, followed by Caputo and Nussbaum. So we have almost 160 people on the live stream. We have a little less than that probably here inside WPI as people continue to file in. It's getting very hot in here. Past couple days, it's been a little cooler without all these bodies up in the stands. Caputo has now moved into first. That's Quinn Caputo from Crimson. Ayonon second, Nussbaum third. Ayonon and Caputo continue to go back and forth in the middle of the pool, lanes 4 and 5. It is Ayonon who has moved back and regained his lead. They're a second and a half apart going into freestyle, so let's see if Caputo can catch him. Ayonon starting to pull away ever so slightly here. Came in with a 153.15. Anon will take heat 6. Caputo takes second. It is Nussbaum third. There are your results for heat number 6. We'll move on to heat 7, our final heat of the men's 2IM. It's Evan Lyons in lane 1, Aiden Kelly in 2, Thomas Denton in lane 3, Landon Him in 4, Thomas Hagar in 5, Hubert Wang in 6, Jack Marin in 7, Zach Bubanovich in lane 8, Brian Hall in 9, and friend of the program, Teddy Sun in lane 10. Hagar leading the way, followed by Denton and Him. So this should be a good one, but similar to what we saw last night in the 4IM, it's Thomas Hagar out in front of the field by a good body length in front of the next closest swimmer. Hagar's out by over a second and a quarter. Him in third, Marin in second. It's Hagar and Marin, 1 and 2 right now, lanes 5 and 7 as they go into the freestyle. The lead is 9/10 of a second, so Marin is slowly but surely catching up. We'll see what he can make up here in the freestyle. He has certainly narrowed the gap. Can Hagar hold on, or will Marin overtake him with about 10 yards to go? Marin makes a late push, but I think it will be Hagar, and it is, out-touching Marin. Bubanovich takes third. So we're moving into the 50 free. This is lightning warfare. We will not be going with names in the beginning. They are on the screen. 11 heats of the 50 free. Nice start in lane 7. That was Maeve Hogan. Kathina Hartvet in lane 3. Gabriella Kim in 4. Bohannon in lane 5. Caitlin Bohannon and Kylie Donahue in lane 6. Once again, I'll tell you, it is more packed than I would have ever thought would happen here. Kathina Hartvet leads the way. Should be your Heat 1 winner, 25.81. We'll move on to Heat number 2. Olivia Webb in lane 1, Arden Trudeau in 2, Retina Zhang in lane 3, Camille Real in lane 4, Samantha Stevenson in 5, Shauna Harney in 6, Karis Mann in 7, Claire Pouliot in 8, Claudia Wang in 9, and Allison Brenner in lane 10. Olivia Webb from Kingfish right now giving Stevenson a push in the middle of the pool, and it is Stevenson who takes it. Trudeau second, Webb third. Michelle Lee in 1, Sophia Wiener in 2, Maxine Cardenas in 3, Maya Flatley in 4, Hannah Martin in 5, Teresa Sanzone In lane 6, Ashwina Bengari in 7, Anna Hennigan in 8, Catherine Henry in 9, and Melina Whitney is in lane 10. Maya Flatley will take it. Cardenas second, Sanzone third. We'll move into heat number 4. Gabriella Rizzuto in 1, Julia Baxter in 2, Caroline Tyrell in 3, Isabella Zeppa in lane 4, Tess Ward in 5, McKenna Uwat in lane 6, Ava Young in 7, Natalie Malone in 8, Abriana Cronstrom in 9, and Sarah Peterson in lane 10. Looks like it's lane 2, Julia Baxter from Solo leading the way right now. Here comes Zeppa in lane 4, and it is Zeppa who takes it. Baxter second, Ward third. Moving right through these 50 frees. Charlotte Caducin in lane 1, Jacqueline Story in 2, Madeline Hollows in 3, lane 4 is open, Kara Thompson in 5, Muriel Lubelchek in 6, Ella Kupa in 7, Kenzie Driscoll in 8, and Eloise Andrews in 10. So lanes 4 and 9 are open. Top of your screen, it looks like it's Kenzie Driscoll there, and it is. Driscoll followed by Hallows and Thompson. Moving right along into heat number 6. There are your lane assignments. Lacey in 1, Pentoni in 2, Rao in 3, McGrew in 4, Archambault in 5, Jeffers in 6, Ackerman Valhalla in 7, Stockwell in 8, Jolly in 9, Sally Ray in lane 10. Looks to be lane 1, and that's Caitlin Lacey leading the way, and it will be Lacey who takes it, followed by McGrew and Ackerman Valhalla. Already into heat 7, moving right along. Morgan Fredette in 1, Sida Bild in 2, Ann Conway in 3, Addison Abreu in 4, Allison Brown in 5, Audie Lynn in 6, Sophia Kozit in 7, Paige Ponagos in 8, Isabel McGovern in 9, and Isabella Lombard in lane 10. Brown will take it, followed by Fredette and Lombard. Heat 8 in the water.
Lane 1, Allison Farrell. Lane 2, Natalie Keith. Lane 3, Amelia Guerrera. Lane 4, Katie White.
Hope Zayafith with the strong start. Leader at the 25-yard mark from Crimson. Zayafith has about a half of a body length on Eliza Brown, and it will be Zayafith who takes it in lane 6. Zayafith, Brown, Gauscher. Good matchup here in heat number 9 between Ava Yablonsky in 5, Julia Pelchat in lane 7. Pelchat is your MIAA Division 1 50 free state champion for Bishop Fian. Keep an eye on her in lane 7.
Lane 1, Holly Quinnen. Lane 2, Meredith Teague. Lane 3, Kathleen Edison. Lane 4, Haley Finola. Lane 5, Ava Yablonsky. Lane
It is Chloe Song, though, that looks to be out in first. Pelchat may be running second right now. Let's see at the wall. It is Song taking first, Yablonsky second, Pelchat third. Moving on to heat 10 of 11. Nesta in 1, Tesson in 2, Coleman in 3, Nalen in 4, Mannion in 5, McClintock in 6, McKay in 7, Cavalier in 8, Bodner in 9, Yang in lane 10. Mannion, of course, is the Stanford University commit. Strong underwater there, and Mannion will take this heat, heat number 10. Mannion goes a 23.65. McClintock takes second. Cavalier third. Another one to keep an eye on here, Anna Bamer, the University of Michigan commit in lane 5. Should be a good battle between Dana Lee, Anna Bamer, and L. Anthony, lanes 4, 5, and 6. And it is a good battle in lanes 4, 5, and 6. Lee, Bamer, and Anthony. It's going to touch first here. And it is Lee, Bamer who out-touches Lee. Anthony takes third, so 24-1 for Bamer. We'll move into the men's 53. Once again, I'm joined by Anna Meinholz here from A3 Performance, doing a fantastic job helping me with the camera here this morning. It's not too often that you get someone from a sponsor to help you out with the broadcast, so very grateful to Anna for her help this morning, a former Division I swimmer at the University of Wisconsin. We'll move into the men's 50 free. Madsen Spurn in 1, Abel Haller in 2, Jaden Chin in 3, Stepan Ignativ in 4, Leo Balon in 5, Brendan Collins in 6, Will Estevez in 7, Evan Harrington in 8, Epic in 9, and Sebastian Gallo in 10. There are your lane assignments. Ben Connors comes in with the top time from Gators, the Attleboro High School standout in lane 5.
Lane 1, Sybil, 2, Corey, 3, Dye, 4, York, 5, Connors, 6, Villanueva, 7, Sankton, 8, Petrosi, 9, Reamer, and 10, Kennedy.
Tight one here. It looks like it's Villanueva in lane 6. Let's see, and it was Villanueva who takes it. Sayathong second, York third. Already into heat number 3. Heat 3 of 10. Page in 1, La Liberty in 2, Church in 3, Nathan in 4, Curtin in 5, Vilas in 6, Morrison 7, Smith in 8, Antonovich in 9, and Eddie Cole in lane 10. And it is Andrew Nath who takes it. Had a nice conversation with Andrew's dad this morning. A lot of friends and family tuning in the Nath family. Welcome to the broadcast. We're almost around 200 people, so you have most likely over 400 people watching this event. We have almost 200 online. We probably have almost 200 in the stands. Very packed. Anna and I are insulated from the crowd, so We have some distance between us, which is nice. No one is on top of us here as you watch heat number 4. And Ridavuth Che. No, it wasn't Che. It was actually Bird who takes it, followed by De Silva, Grandin, and Che. So Che takes 3rd in heat 4. We'll move on to heat number 5. So that was the A3 Performance Hot Heat. Jonathan Bird will get a top prize or a voucher for that. A lot of good swag over at that A3 Performance booth. Geez, I wish I knew someone to get some of that swag. I'll have to make some friends over at A3. Sam Whitaker in lane 1. Nick Austin in 2. Paul Shannon 3. Jonathan Dupkak in 4. Brendan Liu in 5. Dylan Fung in 6. Jamison McEnany from the edge in lane 7. Axel Sodergust in 8, Dan Brudney in 9, and Bradley Waters in 10. Quick turnaround for Waters. Had a good performance in the IM. It is Jamison McEnany, though, takes first here from the edge. Best logo in the game. Liu takes 2nd. Shen takes 3rd. Moving right along into heat number 6. O'Connor in lane 1, Fuchs in 2, Burke in 3, Way in 4, Meek in 5, Billsbury in 6, Hagar, quick turnaround for him as well in 7, Bryan in 8, Pham in 9, and it's Johnson in lane 10. Quick turnaround, no problem though for Hagar. He'll take it in a 21.90, so Thomas Hagar, your heat 6 winner, will move into heat number 7. Moinkins in 1, Chan in 2, Luke in 3, Jaguar in 4, Bonebreak in 5, Sauter in 6, Bocconi Sure in 7, Murray in 8, Kerouac in 9, and Ethan Liu in lane 10. As these heats go on, the swimming gets tighter and tighter. Although that is Davis Bonebreak in lane 5, and he looks to be your winner here. And it is Bonebreak who takes it, followed by Jaguar in Liu. Move on to heat number 8. Top time coming in belongs to William Anon, 21.09 for Anon. He's in lane 5. Anon with that lead ever so slightly over Macanucci. So Anon and Macanucci battling, and it will be Anon who takes it. Macanucci 2nd, Kerbach in 3rd. Anon goes to 21.9. Heat 9 features Dan McLaughlin from Solo in lane 5. Had a great conversation with his mom this morning, Jackie. Dan is a Towson University commit, so congratulations to Dan. And it is McLaughlin leading the way in lane 5. So Dan McLaughlin, your heat 9 winner, followed by Magnuson and Capoletto. That'll bring us to our final heat of the 50 free. It is heat number 10. King in 1, Ivanov in 2, Delisle in 3, Amos in 4, James Misto in 5, Powers Hammond in 6, Chia Pinelli in 7, Mitch Doobie, the Naval Academy commit in lane 8, Jacob Russell in 9, Aiden Kelly in lane 10. Looks like it's Misto leading the way in lane 5, and it's Powers Hammond. Misto will take 2nd, Delisle 3rd, so Powers Hammond a 21.6. I believe that's our fastest time of the morning, so he should be seated very well for the finals tonight as we move into women's 15 to 18 200-yard breaststroke. So a time for us to catch our breath a little bit. Bella Takata in lane 4, Gabriella Kim in 5, Caroline Tyrell in 6. I'm going to take a quick breather, hand it over to Mark Wild for a second.
Takata. Lane 5 from Charles River Aquatics, Gabriella Kim. And lane 6 from United Swim Club, Carolyn Tyrell. Your 15-16 New England resident record set by Laura Sogar is a 2:13.87. Your 17-18 record is a 2:10.47, also held by Laura Sogar. Can I have Coach Jonathan from Charles River to the admin table? Jonathan, Charles River, admin table, please.
So it was Caroline Tyrell taking it. Takata takes second. Kim third in our opening heat of the 15 to 18 200-yard breaststroke. There are your lane assignments for heat number 2. Lanes 1 and 10 will be open. Arentina Zhang in lane 1, Hope Zayafith in 2, Riley Reeder in 4, Isabella Lombard in 5, Braylon Wilson in 6, Mary Powers in 7, Allison Rochi in lane 8, Noelle San Marco in lane 9. So lanes 1 and 10 are open. Zhang, Zayafith, Reeder, Lombard, Wilson, Powers, Rochi, and San Marco. Lanes 2 through 9, your top time coming in belongs to Isabella Lombard from the Dedham Health Hydra, 2:35.22. Again, we have a good crowd both on the live stream and in the audience here today at WPI. It's actually much more packed than I thought it would be. Guessing we have about 150, maybe more people here in the stands. We were flirting with 200 on the live stream earlier. We were up in the 180s. So a lot of interest, which is great to see. Rochi leads the way, followed by Lombard and Powers at the 100-yard mark. Lombard went out first 50, 33-23. 111.88 at the halfway mark, just behind Roach. 111.50. So I believe both of Allison's swims this morning, in which she's had good swims. She was top of the pool, lane 8, 9, or 10, somewhere near the top. She's doing very well again out of lane number 8. Maybe 8 is her.
Craft from Kingfish. Swimming in your C final, Paul Shen, Carrick Shea, Luke Geiger, Alexander Lopes, Braden Liu, Connor Queerback, Timothy Johnson, Matthew Wang, Landon Him. Swimming in your B final, Antonio Pham, Jacob Russell, Garrett Jones, Samuel King, Mitch Doobie, Davis Bonebreak, Matt Bay Evanoff, Preston Amos, Jason G. Pinelli, Nathan DeLeese. Heat 3.
Roach does end up taking this one, followed by Lombard and Powers. We'll move on to heat number 3. Anna and I were just conversing about how we're both surprised. 8 heats of the women's 2 breast. On the men's side, there are 7, so a lot of 200 breaststrokers out there. We do not have that as a high school event up here in Rhode Island or Massachusetts, so I know quite a few swimmers actually getting their 2 breast in this morning as a warm-up, so to speak, for the Rhode Island State Championships this afternoon. Burns leading the way right now, followed by Sanzoni and Hemmett. Joe Monty, as always, right there for me with those pronunciations phonetically. Thank you, Joe. Sometimes I struggle with a name, so my apologies to Aratina Zhang. Sanzone continuing to lead the way, followed by Burns, Pat, and Hemmett. Tang and Riley less than a second and a half behind, so still anyone's race at the halfway mark. Sanzone was out in a 1:12.35. Burns continues to lead the way, followed by Sanzone. Tang has moved up to 3rd from 5th. So,
a coach from Amherst, a coach from Casham, coach from Kingfish, coach from Crimson, coach from Green Mountain Aquatics.
So Mia Burns takes it. Christine Tang takes 2nd. Marin Hemmett 3rd. So apparently there were a lot of ties in the 50 freeze. And when I say a lot, I think there were 4 to 6 ties in the 50 freeze. So there will be some swim-offs. So I know they're working down at the officials' table to figure all of that out. I don't know when the swim-offs will be. Guessing right after this session, or before this session ends. Allison Farrell in lane 1, Laura Chabotarev in lane 2, Charlotte Hoover in 3, Song Wadekiss in lane 4, Michelle Lee in lane 5, Claire Wepler in lane 6, Savannah Lombardi in lane 7, Alexa Lindell in lane 8, Kenzie Driscoll in 9, and Angela Parasalt in lane 10. Farrell and Lee leading the way right now, followed by Lindell, all three of them within 0.3 of a second. Very early on here in the 200 breaststroke. This is heat number 4. Should be some exciting finals tonight with the 2 IM and the 50 free, along with this 200 breast, which will be followed up by our final event of the morning, which is the 500 free. I may convince Anna to get the headset on during the 500 free. A lot of time to kill during that. We'll see. We'll see how persuasive I am with that assignment. We always get the best insight from swimmers and former swimmers. Farrell leading the way, followed by Lee and Lindell. So Allison Farrell in lane 1 at the bottom of your screen. Leader at the 150-yard mark by 0.4 over Wepler, 0.7 over Lee. Still extremely close. So lanes 1, 5, and 6 are where your leaders come from with about 30 yards to go here. Looks like it was Farrell and Wepler to the wall first. Too close to call right now. It looks like it may be Wepler in lane 6 with the ever so slight lead, and it is Wepler who will take it in lane 6. Wepler, Farrell, Hoover, your top 3 for heat 4. We'll move right into heat number 5. Nora Herbstuber in lane 1, Emma Lent in 2, Caitlin Horsch in 3, Kylie Herbstuber in lane 4, Flannery Miller in 5, Isabella Gherkin in 6, Brooke Wager in lane 7, Caitlin Archibald in 8, Ula Haller in 9, and Kylie Donahue in lane 10. Archambault leading the way, followed by a trio of Crimson Aquatic swimmers, Haller and the Herbstubers. Kylie in 3rd, Nora in 4th. Kylie is 18, Nora 16. Archambault continues to lead the way, followed by Kylie Herbstuber. Kylie Donahue has moved up into 3rd. So a couple Herbstubers in this heat, a couple of Kylies in this heat, a couple of Caitlins in this heat. They'll come in and make the turn at the 150-yard mark. Archambault, Donahue, and the Herbstubers. Kylie in 3rd, Nora in 4th. Archambault has been leading the whole way. She went out in a 1:11.92. Barring some unforeseen circumstances, she will take this one. She's getting a little push in lane 10, but not enough pool left. It will be Archambault who takes it, 230.81. Donahue second. That's Kylie Herbstuber taking third. Nora taking fourth. Must be some friendly battles in that house with dueling sisters. We'll save that conversation for Anna, as I know she has a sister who is also a swimmer, or was a swimmer. I'm very familiar with it, having two daughters that are swimmers. Although they're almost 4.5 years apart, there is a lot of smack talk which goes on in the house very often, and typically it's led by my 10-year-old, not my 15-year-old. Ella Derby from Kingfish comes in with the top time in Heat 6, 2:16.54. Again, we're hovering around 200 people on the live stream, so appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here at WPI for the 2022 New England Swimming 15 to 18 Age Group Championships, brought to you in part by A3 Performance. You can check them out at A3Performance.com. A3 Performance, lead, innovate, inspire. We had Dan Meinholtz on the program yesterday, had a good conversation around tech suits, and I know more about fabric in Italy and all of these polyester blends more than I've ever known coming into this weekend. So check them out. They are offering a 10% discount right now on their already very affordable tech suits. You can use the discount code FAST10, that's FAST10, at A3Performance.com. And as a parent, what appeals to me is the price point of their tech suits. Dan talked about many top swimmers around the world who are using tech suits by A3 Performance. They just signed with Virginia Tech down in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Very good swimming school, so check them out, A3Performance.com. Good battle here between Ella Derby and Alden White in lanes 5 and 6. 0.2 of a second apart at that last 150, and they are stroke for stroke here, but it looks like it's Derby with the red cap slightly starting to pull away here, and it will be Derby, I believe. I could be wrong. No, it's Derby who takes it by 0.4. White takes second. It was Hanley taking third. There are the rest of your results as we move into Heat 7. There are your lane assignments. Sarah Bernard comes in with the top time, 2:16.23. She's in lane 5, the 17-year-old from Commonwealth Swimming. And she is blazing already. So nice pace there by Bernard in lane 5. Let's watch these pullouts. So contrasting styles in lanes 4 and 5. Bernard keeps that chin very low and close to the water when she breathes. Avery Lord, on the other hand, in lane 4, brings her head way out of the water, as does Kaylee Stockwell in lane 6. So Bernard perhaps staying a little more aerodynamic in lane 5, followed by Stockwell. Lord running third. So it's lanes 4, 5, and 6. Stockwell and Bernard battling in the middle of the pool, and it is Stockwell with the lead by 0.3, 0.9 over Lord. They're your top three. Stockwell seems to be just barely out in front still. by a tenth or so. Kaylee Stockwell from UVAC in lane 6. Sarah Bernard from Commonwealth in lane 5. They are almost stroke for stroke, setting us up for an exciting final 50. It is Stockwell still in the lead by 3/10, so nothing has changed there. Avery Lord in third, but here comes Claire Neely now from Crimson in lane 3. She's challenging Lord, and she may have passed her ever so slightly in lane 3, and she looks like she has. But the battle for first between Sarah Bernard in lane 5, Kaylee Stockwell in lane 6. It looks to be Bernard who has now pulled ahead at the flags, and at the wall it will be Sarah Bernard who takes it. 2:20.50 for Bernard, 2:21.04 for Stockwell. Neely actually comes back and takes third, Lord fourth. Here are your final results from Heat 7. So that was a great race with Bernard edging out Stockwell. We'll move into Heat number 8. Melena Whitney in 1, Katie Teston in 2, Mila Vuoltinaho in lane 3, Amanda Whitkiss, the University of Miami commit in lane 4, Eliza Brown in lane 5, Kelsa Dater in 6, Savina Villani in 7, Gabriella Rizzuto in lane 8, Isabel Hausman in 9, Frankie Dolby in 10. Kono Pizza Cape Cod says, go Cape Cod Swim Club. Kono Pizza, how about you send some pizza over to WPI here? We'd love that. Would love to have some delicious Kono pizza. Can send some to Anna and I. We'll share. We'll share with the crowd. You'd have to make a lot of pizzas though to take care of everyone in the building here today. Looks like we're still upwards of about 150 people here in person at WPI, around 175 on the live stream. So over 300 of you in total watching us. Please make sure you pass that link along to your friends, family, and everyone else for our finals tonight. The finals will be very exciting. 2IM 50 free. I think we have an announcement.
There will be a 50 freestyle swim off before you race.
Okay, I missed the first part of that. There will be a 50 freestyle swim off. I think it's before the 500. Okay, so that 50 free swim off is going to be directly following this heat. So there will be a 50 free swim off after this heat. This is our last heat of the women's 15 to 18 200-yard breaststroke. Brown leading the way, followed by Dater and Whitkiss. Eliza Brown in only day 2 here, already having herself a great 15 to 18 age group championships. I mean, her lead, as you can see, has been built up pretty wide on the next closest swimmer. 7 seconds. Brown will take it in a 2:16.31. We're going to go to our public address announcer for these 50 swim-offs because I don't know if I'm going to have that data pushed up to me. So we'll go to Mark Wild from WPI in 1 second.
Is a women's 15 to 18 50-yard freestyle swim-off. Heat 1. Lane 5 from PVA, Samantha Stevenson, and lane 6 from Gator, Morgan Fredette. They tied earlier in a 25-21.
So it's Stevenson and Fredette. Stevenson in 5, Fredette in 6. Looks like it's Fredette,
And at the touch,
and it was.
lane 6, dropping over half a second Morgan Fredette, also dropping time, Samantha Stevenson. Great swim, ladies, great swim. Turning to our regularly scheduled program, event 20, men's 15 to 18 200-yard breaststroke. There will be 7 heats.
All right, here we go. Back
Heat
to our
1.
regularly scheduled programming. So nice swim there by Fredette and Stevenson. It was Fredette out touching Stevenson there. They both dropped times, though, so that's pretty fantastic. Good for them. There's your lane assignments for the 15 to 18 200 breast. And Kona Pizza Cape Cod says, let us know when you want us at Seekonk. Absolutely. We're going to take you up on that.
In lane 3 from
We will be
United,
back. We will be back at Seekonk. Well, you know, we're transitioning now from short course into long course. Our next meet will probably be at Brown University. So maybe I'll let you know when we're at Brown. Seekonk, Providence, right next to each other. Stone throws away. Always appreciate a good slice of pie here. French leading the way in lane 1. Petrossi in lane 2. Broush in lane 3. This is our opening heat of the breast. Almost finished with our program so far this morning. 500 free will be the final event. Scheduled to end at 11:15. May get out a couple minutes earlier than that. Again, we'll be back at 4:45. Hope everyone had a good dinner last night. We went to the 110 Bar and Grill over near the DCU Center. It was pretty good. Anna, where'd you go last night? I thought there was a long wait. So Anna went to Mezcal, fantastic Mexican, good margaritas. So a lot of good restaurants in Worcester. I'll put Worcester right up there with Providence as far as restaurants. I gave you some suggestions yesterday. The Fix Burger Bar is fantastic. Armsby Abbey, the Flying Rhino, Mezcal, 110. Those are only, you know, a small handful. So for those of you not familiar with the area, check them out. Some of the places, though, aren't open for lunch, which was surprising last weekend when we were here for age groups. Worcester expects to be very busy this weekend. There is a dance competition at the DCU Center downtown. So I think there's like 500 or 600 dancers in town for a competition. Jack French takes our opening heat of the men's 200 breast. Good battle between Gallo and Lee at the top. So French, Petrossi, and Broush, 1, 2, and 3. Anton Bonacci in lane 1, Ryan Cam in 2, Brendan Collins in 3, Abel Haller in 4, Daniel Chan in 5. So lanes 2 through 5, all crimson. Ben Connors in 6, Preston Dice in lane 7, Brandon Liu in 8, Chris Raymond in 9, Derek McIntyre in 10. So setting the stage for tonight's finals, I'll have my 10-year-old daughter, Avery Abreu, with us. She'll be manning the camera. We'll also have special guest appearance from David Sapoznikov. So David was second in High Point for the boys 11 to 14 age group championships last weekend. He's a swimmer at Charles River Aquatics, one of the top 11 to 14 swimmers here in New England. So looking forward to hearing David's commentary tonight, hearing a little bit about how he trains, what his aspirations are. So join that broadcast. If you don't want to sit in a crowded pool, go to your hotel lobby, which I know many folks have done. Ask them to connect your phone or another device to one of the TVs or multiple TVs in the lobby. Go on YouTube, get the meet up, enjoy a nice little cocktail while you're watching the meet, something you can't do here. Derek McIntyre in lane 10 at the top of your screen. The leader at the halfway mark. Derek McIntyre from GMA continues to lead the way, followed by Daniel Chan and Ryan Cam. They're your top three.
Kelsey Couture, Amanda Whitkiss, Catherine Handley, Avery Ward, Karen Neely, Katie Stockwell, Sarah Bernard, Alden White, Ella Derby, and Eliza Brown.
Here comes Chan in lane 5. So Chan and McIntyre battling. Chan in 5, McIntyre in 10. Who's going to touch first? And it is McIntyre, 2:17.30. Out touches Chan by 17 100ths.
Our A3 performance winner. Congratulations.
So Derek McIntyre, the A3 Fast Heat Performance winner. We'll move into heat number 3. Hugo Beeson in lane 1, Madsen Spurn in 2, Daniel Cole in 3, Nicholas Fournier in lane 4, Theo Tran in lane 5, Dylan Fung in lane 6. Lane 7 is open, Andrew Kelly in lane 8, Henley Chen in 9, and Jaden Clayton in lane 10. Top time coming in. Looks like it belongs to Theo Tran from the Hockomock area Y, 2:20.10. Daniel Cole from GMA leading the way right now, though, after 50, followed by Henley Chen and Dylan Fung. So they are your top three. Separated by 7/10. Hugo Beeson right there, just a little under 8/10. So your top 4 swimmers still bunched pretty closely here. Lanes 3, 6, 9, and 10. Daniel Cole continues to lead the way, followed by Chen and Fung. So this does mark the first time in 2 years that fans have been allowed inside WPI for an outside swim meet. And what we're seeing, just like we have suspected all along, is that live streaming and in-person swimming can coexist very harmoniously. Have about 150 people inside WPI. We've had upwards of 188 on the live stream this morning, averaging around 150. So looking forward to continue bringing you these broadcasts, as it looks like it's Henley Chen in lane 9. And it will be Chen who takes it, 2:17.07. Cole second, Fung third. There are your final results for Heat 3.
Heat 4.
Callum McDonald in lane 1. Nikita Ostapenko in lane 2. Jaden Chin in 3. Melson Yavin Aquilano in lane 4. Rowan Viles in lane 5. Thomas DePaulo in lane 6. Nathaniel Derby in 7. Brian Hall in 8. Thomas Denton in 9. And Carrick Shea in lane 10.
Lane 6 from Seacoast, Thomas DePaulo. Lane 7 from Kingfish, Nathaniel Derby. Lane 8 from North Shore, Brian Hall. Lane 9 from Green Mountain Aquatics, Thomas Denton. And lane 10 from Crimson, Carrick Shea.
Rowan Viles from the Tritons leading the way after 50. Ostapenko in second. Denton running third right now. Soon to be a very exciting time of the year in the world of sports with March Madness kicking off in a couple of weeks. You'll see conference championships. Then the NCAA tournament. Of course, as everyone probably knows, baseball is locked out right now. I don't really know if a lot of people care about that. But for those diehard Red Sox fans, going to have less than 162 this year. Rowan Viles has really started to pull away here at the 150-yard mark. Closest swimmer is Denton. He's over 3 1/4 seconds behind. Celtics continuing to have a fairly good year. Bruins, not really sure, not a huge hockey guy, so can't tell you much about what the Bruins are doing. Viles, though, continues to lead the way, followed pretty closely, and that's lane 4, and that's Melson Javen Aquilano. But it will be Viles who takes it. 2:10.90. Denton will take second. He's going to touch third, and it is Aquilano. There are your final results for Heat 4. Benjamin Terentiev in lane 1, Paul Shen in 2, John Fernandez in 3, Nicholas Austin in 4, Christopher Smith in lane 5. It's Damian Figet-Kosarev in lane 6, Ethan Macanucci in 7, Yuval Yorov in lane 8, Reed Nussbaum in 9, and Oliver Cox in lane number 10. So keep an eye on Figet-Kosarev in lane 6. Comes in with a 2:09.96 right behind Christopher Smith, and it is Figet-Kosarev at the 50-yard mark, the leader. Such a strong breaststroker there in lane number 6, Figet-Kosarev. So it's funny, you see some other swimmers catch Figet-Kosarev at the pullouts. So you see Christopher Smith with a stronger pullout in lane 5, but between the flags is where Figet-Kosarev starts to get that lead back again. And the lead is ever so slight for Figet-Kosarev over Christopher Smith in lane 5. And now Christopher Smith has moved into the lead. So Chris Smith from Crimson, keep an eye on lane 2, and that's Paul Shen from Charles River Aquatics here. So big changing at the top here. Smith, Shen, Austin, Figet-Kosarev drops down to 4th. He was running in 1st through the 100. I suspect he'll make another run at it here, and he is. Tight race here, lanes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here comes Figet-Kosarev. Is there enough pull for him to catch Smith and Austin? And it is Austin who takes it. Fernandez second. Figet-Kosarev will take third. We'll move into Heat 6 of 7. Andrew Nath in lane 1, Dylan Jewett in 2, Jack Marin in 3, Caleb Del Rosario in lane 4, Andy Wee in lane 5. Luke Austin in lane 6, Henry Baconi Shore in lane 7, Nathaniel Murray in 8, Samuel Kaplan in 9, and Declan McDonald in lane 10. It's Andy Way with the top time coming in, 2:08.66. I mentioned this morning I got to meet Andrew's dad, Paul. Had a good conversation with him around the live stream and his family watching from all over. Had a nice conversation with Katrina Antonovich, Jacob Antonovich's mom. Said the same thing. And also a great conversation with Dan McLaughlin's mom, Jackie. We mentioned earlier Dan is a Towson University commit down in Maryland. So best of luck to Dan. He's on solo aquatics. Andy Way leading the way. Austin running second, a half a second behind. Andrew Nath, a second and a quarter off the mark right now. So good race shaping up for the final 50 here between Andy Way and Luke Austin in lanes 5 and 6. Jack Marin only a little over a half a second, or a second and a half, I should say, off the pace, but Andy Way continues to look very strong in lane 5. He's led from the very beginning, going out in a 1007. So here comes Austin in that final 50. Can Austin catch him? Can Marin catch Austin? So Marin in lane 3. Austin, no one's going to catch Andy Way. He'll take it. Looks like Marin will end up in second. Austin third. So nice race there by Andy Way. 209.10. Marin takes second. Austin third. We'll move into our final heat of the two breast. Our final heat of the men's 15 to 18 200 breast finds Quinn Schwab in lane 1, Jeffrey Kong in 2, Gabriel Herzlinger in 3. Matthew Wang, friend of the program. Good to see Matt in lane 4, Zach Bubanovich in lane 5, Jake Thomas in lane 6, Thomas Hagar in lane 7, Mitch Doobie, the Naval Academy commit in 8, Evan Lyons in lane 9, and it is Daniel Nee in lane 10. Zach Bubanovich leading the way very early on, followed by Thomas and Hagar. So once again, folks, we appreciate everyone taking the time to join us. We'll be back for finals tonight. I know we still have the 500 to go here, but we will be back for finals at 4:45 tonight. Should be an exciting night of finals, as Bubanovich, Thomas, and Hagar are your top 3 swimmers right now. So if you want to kick back in that hotel lobby, pull this up on one of those big screen TVs in your hotel lobby, kick back with a beverage of choice. Join us here at WPI Athletics YouTube page. And if you do decide to join us, pass that link along to family and friends. I'd like to break that 200 viewer mark tonight for finals.
Ladies behind the box and fans in the stands, after this event, we'll have a swim-off in the 50 freestyle. A swim-off in the 50 freestyle at the conclusion of this event.
So it looks like we're going to have another 50 freestyle swim-off right after this heat. That's before the 500s. So Zach Bubanovich led this one from start to finish, 2:05.04 for Bubanovich. Hagar will take second. Doobie takes third. There are your final results. We'll go down to Mark Wild for who is swimming in this swim-off.
Our next event is a swim-off in the 50 freestyle.
Looks like we'll have two swimmers, 1 in 5, 1 in 6.
Heat 1.
We'll get who is in those lanes very shortly. Two very tall young men. Don't know the names, though, until Mark gives them to us.
In lane 5 from Amherst, Nathan Delisle. Lane 6 from Carisham, Jason Chiapinelli.
So Delisle and
This
Chiapinelli.
morning, both swam a 22:07.
They are stroke for stroke. It looks like it's Chiapinelli, though, slightly ahead, and it will be Chiapinelli
21:70
by
for
8
Chiapinelli.
100ths of a
Delisle,
second.
21:82. Both
Excuse
dropping
me,
time from this
12
morning's
100ths
swim.
of a second. So nice swim by both of them. We're going to move into the 500.
Our next event is event 21, women's 15-18 500-yard freestyle. There will be 4 heats. Counters are located.
So what we're going to do for the 500s is we're probably going to keep it wide, a wide angle shot. Some of the turns aren't as important here, but we're going to keep it wide. I'm going to get Anna a headset and a microphone. Going to have a conversation with Anna Meinholz from A3 Performance. There are your lane assignments. So we will be back with you in 1 second here. Okay, so we are back. Anna, can you hear me? Let's make sure your mic's working good.
Yes, I can.
All right, let me boost you up a little bit. Say that again.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. So I'm joined here by Anna Meinholz from A3 Performance. She has graciously accepted my invitation to actually help me in the booth, the broadcast booth this morning, which has been a great help. Anna is a former Division I swimmer at the University of Wisconsin. So, Anna, why don't you walk me through your swimming background, walk the audience through all of your swimming and swimming accomplishments, so to speak.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to talk with everybody. So I started swimming when I was really young. My mom and dad both swam in college at the University of Wisconsin, so swimming was pretty important to them. So it was important for us to learn how to, and if we wanted to stick with it, we could stick with it. So I have an older sister that swam as well. So we started probably when we were 5 or 6. You know, I look back and I have ribbons from like 1999, so I was pretty young. Swam club all through high school, swam high school. We actually had the opportunity that our dad coached us in high school. So we went to a really small high school, and the high school team was very small, and he wanted to give us the opportunity to take a break from club, be able to swim with high school, different people, different type of season, much shorter. So he took it upon himself and made sure that we had a coach. So Ellie and I got to swim together for 1 year. She was a senior when I was a freshman. And then, yeah, went to college at the University of Wisconsin, swam there for four years. I got to my 4 years. And then I did end up swimming at Olympic trials. So my coach let us, any people who had qualified for Olympic trials, it was that summer after we had finished with our college career. So he let us stick around for a couple more months to train and swim as a Badger at trials.
Fantastic. So explain this to me. What is the town you're from in Wisconsin?
It's called Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc.
Yep.
All right, I got it right there. So in terms of swimming in Wisconsin, do you find just like here where club swimming is the swimmers typically pay more priority to club swimming than high school, or how do things rank out in Wisconsin? As you get the bell here for Sofia Della Coletta. So Sofia Della Coletta from Crimson has been leading the way right from jump here. Looks like it's Allison Brown running in second. So Sofia Della Coletta, she's in lane 4. She's coming in. So a great time and a great swim for Della Coletta. She goes a 5:03.03. It will be Brown who takes second. I'm going to turn these graphics off and we can go wide for a second to finish. And hold that thought, Anna. We'll get right back to that. Good race here in lanes 2 and 3. That's Burns and Saska, and it is Saska taking third. Burns takes fourth. There are your final results. Sofia Della Coletta takes first. Brown second. Eleanor Saska takes third.
Heat 2.
We'll move into Heat 2. There are your lane assignments. As soon as they get in the water, we'll continue. So, Anna, we were talking about high school swim versus club swim. So you mentioned that you actually took some time off from club to swim high school with your dad. Is that a common thing out there? What has priority out in Wisconsin?
I would say it all kind of depends upon the level that you are at as a swimmer and the relationship you have with your club coach. You know, if you have an awesome high school coach and you feel that you're not going to take a step back by going to swim high school, then go and do it. Some people just opted out of it, or they would school choice so that they could go and swim for the club coach that also coached that high school. So I think it's super important to be able to take a little break from club because it's pretty demanding, more so than a lot of other sports. So the high school season, it's short. You grind and then you rest. There's a lot more like school spirit behind it. So I think it's just a good breather from the club swimming world.
Yeah, it's a little more laid back for sure. So you mentioned you swam in Olympic trials. What event did you swim in Olympic trials?
I swam the 100 and 200 breaststroke in 2016 and then 2021.
Oh, so
Nope.
just
Nope, let me reverse that. 2012, 2016.
okay. I was
Not
going to say
recently.
just a year and a half ago,
No.
2 years ago, you were swimming. So how close were you to? Were you wave 1? Were you wave 2? Or did they even have that
They
back
didn't
then?
have waves like that the last 2 times. They just threw you all together, which I look back at the people who got split up into different waves, and you know, one of the biggest parts of being able to get that qualifying time is just to be at that meet, at that level with athletes at that level, and then all of a sudden you split the waves up and you're not seeing any of those top guys.
Who was the most famous swimmer that you got to meet at Olympic trials that the audience
man.
would know?
Well, I wouldn't say I personally met anybody specifically, but I mean, behind the big stage, everyone is thrown together all in the same pool. So you're swimming next to everybody, whether it's, you know, Simone, Manuel, or Michael Phelps is in there. Everybody is in the same pool to warm up and warm down.
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
So talk about A3 Performance, right? Your dad was on here last night talking about how he founded the company, and how did you graduated from Wisconsin.
Yep.
And then how did you get in with A3? Were you already working for your dad prior to this? Talk a little bit about that.
So my addition to the business when I was in college is this is super cool. I had the opportunity as a college athlete that was training, 24/7, 365 days a year. I was able to help him in the construction of our tech suits. So 2 times I got to go to China and Hong Kong and, do some traveling, go to Germany, Italy, places like that where you get to meet a ton of different people. You get to help learn fabric, fit suits, figure out, what makes a suit fast. And I'm sure you talked a lot about that last night.
Yes.
Fabric, different coatings on it. So that was kind of what I was able to do while I was in college to help the brand. At the University of Wisconsin, we were sponsored by A3, so we had A3 goggles, equipment, tech suits, practice suits, you name it. And then when I graduated, I didn't want to work for my parents right away. I was nervous what other people were going to think. I thought, oh, she's just going to hop into the family business. So I thought, I'm going to try something else. And I ended up working for like a Cintas. It's a uniform and floor mat company. And
were you doing sales or
yes,
what were you doing? Okay.
Sales. And I was like, I can do this. And then you had to walk into different businesses unannounced and call people, and they'd hang up on you and tell you to get out. And I was like, I don't love this.
This
I
is
don't
the world
like
of
what I'm doing.
That's the world of outside sales, right?
Yes. So to all of you that do that, props to you, because I could not hang with it. And I just thought, I've been surrounded my whole life by people who are so passionate for what they do, and I just could not get any passion in what I was doing. So then I kind of reached out to my dad, and I thought, I miss the sport. I love the sport. I'd love to be a part of it in a different position. Do you have some room for me? And he said he did.
So this has been a great conversation, but my daughter is in the pool right now, Addison Abreu. So that's Addison
There she is.
in lane 5, leading the way for Gators here. So separated by about a second over Eileen McAllister from Bluefish in lane 7. So a tight finish here. Here comes McAllister, but it's Addison Abreu speeding toward the finish. It will be Abreu who takes it. 5:12.48. McAllister goes a 5:13.27. There are your final results. Abreu takes first, McAllister second, Jesse McNeil third. We'll move on to heat number 3. There are your lane assignments. So it's a no-go with Cintas. You want to get back into the swimming world, so to speak. You reach back out to your dad. Go right ahead.
And that's where he said, this is what you would be doing. You're going to be doing a little bit more traveling. We want you out and about. I had the opportunity to go to different swim camps or clinics or qualify for different meets when I was younger. So it was kind of cool to get back into it and travel and see either athletes that I knew that were a little younger than I was, or athletes that are now coaching, or coaches that coached me at these camps. So, I've been here for almost 4 years, and I love it. I love knowing what I'm doing and being passionate about building a brand and helping other athletes.
So what's it like going against the big 3 behemoths, right? We're not gonna give them any pub right here, right now. But obviously A3 Performance, when you think about those other 3, you're definitely below them in terms of market share, name recognition, brand recognition.
Yes.
We heard from your dad last night. It'll be interesting to hear your point of view. How do you connect with the swimmers? How do you connect with swimmers who have been wearing a different type of suit? They tie their performance to their suit. How do you connect with them and get them to give A3 Performance a chance?
Yeah, and I totally hear you. And I was the same way. You get something, you like it, you're going to continue to use it, so why would you change? And I think for us, it's just really important to share our story and what our mission is. We're not here to just add any additional products to the market just for fun, just to make money, just to see what we can do. We are literally here to try and make a change. And when you put on A3, we want you to be confident. because swimming, we know the mindset is incredibly crucial to your performance. So for us, I would say we just love to share our story, and we love to share how we have gotten to where we are now and what we plan to do to keep growing. We know that we don't have as deep of pockets. We know that we don't have the market share, but it's not really going to stop us. So that's why we do all the testing that we do. That's why there is so much time and effort put into building products and not bringing anything to the market that is unnecessary or that, looks cool, just looks cool. Like everything has a distinctive purpose. And so that's kind of how I think that we try to set ourselves apart, is by bringing products to the market that we know what this is for, what the goal is of using this, and testing everything so that we can come back and say, this is the fastest tech suit in the market, and we want you to know that and feel that when you put it on and have that confidence. And at the same time, we want to provide service to everybody, that they can reach out and call us and email us, and we are going to be there. We want to support you guys because that's what we do.
That's definitely good to hear. And I mean, I think one of the biggest things that come to mind for me as a parent, and I'm sure many of the other parents out there, is, my daughter, every 3 months, every 2-3 months, it's, Dad, I need a new suit. I need a new tech suit. Does she really need it? No, she doesn't. But the pricing of the suits, and that's one thing that stood out to me from the conversation with your dad last night, is, at your higher end, you're at $399.
Yes.
That's correct, right?
Yep.
When you're looking at some of the other tech suits on the market, on the high end, you could be spending $700.
Right.
So the price of entry certainly helps on the A3 performance side, for sure. And it's obviously important for you to get into swimmers at an earlier age.
Right.
Per se, rather than, perhaps swimmers at this age, I don't want to say they're set in their ways, but,
yeah,
they've been wearing a brand for a certain amount of time. What's the demographic in terms of the geography where most of your customers are located? Obviously, you're in the Midwest. Is that where the biggest concentration of your customers are?
I would say Midwest for sure, but it's a little bit all over the place. There's not really a lot in one place other than very local, but I would say we have a ton of customers that are in the Texas area. We have a lot in Colorado. Those are some heavy areas. And then we also have a couple agents. So those are people that pretty much are running their own business. We support them.
They're resellers,
they don't have to
so
have
to
a brick
speak.
and mortar.
Yep.
Yeah, but they can go ahead and.
So Dana Lee takes it in a time of 4:55.71. It looks like it will be Sarah Bernard who takes second, Clara Renner third. So another nice swim for Lee, 4:55.71. Dana Lee came in with a 4:50, so a little off her best time, but this is prelims. She'll be swimming again tonight. Here are your final results. Dana Lee, Sarah Bernard, Clara Renner, 1, 2, and 3. As we move into our fourth and final heat on the women's side, which will feature Natalie Mannion in lane 5. She comes in with a 4:45.20. So the top overall qualifying time by 10 seconds over Ella Derby of Kingfish in lane 6. There are your lane assignments. So we're off and running on our final heat of the morning. So how is this your first time up to the Northeast, to the New England area?
Actually, I've been to WPI about 2 years ago. I came to fit the college team in tech suits. We also sponsor Howard University, so I stopped over there, and Frostburg University, so I kind of made a little trip around.
So
around
Howard down in the Mid-Atlantic.
Yes.
So we have a former Gator swimmer who is the sister of Jayla Pina, LaTroya Pina, who swam at Howard and is in med school down at Howard University. Fun fact, like I told your dad last night, Jayla Pina from Gators competed in the 2021 Olympics for her country, Cape Verde.
Very cool.
So we do have an Olympian in the building here today. I don't know if Jayla's actually here this morning. She swam last night in the 4 IM. So where do you see A3 performance 5 years from now?
Growing. Sharing our mission, sharing our inspiration, sharing what we do. I think once people start to pay a little bit more attention to why products are the way they are, or why they're built the way they are, or why they look the way they are, we'll just gain more and more growth. We just want to keep doing what we're doing.
So if you have any questions for Anna, pop them into the live chat. This is always the most fun part of what I do as far as keeping the content engaging. I mean, we're in a 500. We can only talk about the swimmers going from left to right, right to left so many times. Natalie Mannion has opened up a very commanding lead very early on at the 150-yard mark. So I know tech suits are a big thing with all parents. We spend literally thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars probably over the course of our swimmer's career on suits and on equipment. If you have any questions for Anna, pop them into the live chat. Would love to. We still have over 100 people on, so I'd love to get some good questions for her. I can tell you I was down taking a look at the A3 performance suits. We had Dan, Anna's dad, on last night talking about all of the technology that goes into what they have as the fastest suit, which is actually tested and tried out at the Olympic Training Center. So it's not just words saying it's the fastest suit at a price point that is a certain win for us as parents. But again, it becomes getting the child or the swimmer, the athlete, to try that suit for the first time.
Right.
Really,
right.
To get in that suit for the first time, to check it out, and really see that how comfortable the suit is. I know they have the Avicii and Nova line of suits down for display here. They have a nice little booth set up right outside of lane number 1. So Anna, when you swam, what was your favorite event? You told us what events you swam, but if you could swim only one event, what was that event?
Okay, so as a breaststroker, I would say my favorite event short course was the 200 IM.
Yep.
And long course was the 200 breast. 200 IM was just so fun because it's just switch up and it's just a fight from start to finish, changing leads constantly. And I like the 200 breast long course because it was just so easy to get into a rhythm. And maybe I didn't like pullouts quite as much. So
less reliance on the walls,
yes.
More reliance on the stroke.
Yes.
For sure. You're being very modest yesterday when I talked to you about your 2 IM time. You know, your best time ever, I think you told me, 1:59.
Yeah.
So very impressive.
Yes. Thank you.
Going under 2 minutes here. And you know, after seeing, you know, you're not in New England a ton as Natalie Mannion gets the bell here. So Natalie Mannion will take it. What we'll do is Natalie has quite a bit of a lead, so we're going to keep it wide when she finishes because she's almost a full length of the pool ahead of everybody else. Anna, what about the competition level in New England? What have you seen in New England versus what you have seen in, you know, back home in Wisconsin and in other places?
Yeah, I would say there are a lot of very, very good athletes here. I mean, when I look at everybody that has competed and those top times, even like the top 3 to 6 times, they are pretty deep. It's really exciting to see or to hear that these people have committed wherever they're going to go in school because that's just, it's awesome to see that they're at this level now. What's going to happen in the next couple of years. I always love hearing that people are going to continue to swim through college because I think being a college athlete is awesome and a student athlete is such a challenge, and if you can come out on the other side of that, you are in a good spot.
Yeah, we talked about Natalie Mannion. She'll be attending Stanford swimming in the fall, so our top swimmer here. We'll move into the boys. So 5 heats of the guys, and we are done 10:50 right now, so about 20-25 more minutes. We'll be right on time. This is heat number 1 of event 22 of the men's 15 to 18 500 free. So, Anna, we talked about, and you mentioned the ups and downs of swims, right? So it's not uncommon to talk to some swimmers who are, let's say, 15, 16, 17 years old, and they haven't hit their best time in maybe 2 or 3 years, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep,
I'm sure you went through those ebbs and flows.
definitely.
How did you overcome that? How did you overcome that adversity? How did you overcome those tough times when, you know, you were shooting for a specific time or you were just trying to drop time and you were having a tough time? What advice can you offer to the younger swimmers out there to get through those tough times?
Yeah, I would say my coaches, like all the support I had around me, if I was kind of plateauing on an event, sometimes they would tell me like, hey, we're going to focus on your freestyle instead, or we're going to focus on every other stroke but breaststroke right now because it's just not clicking. So let's focus on all these other strokes. You know, you might do this set backstroke, and I know that you hate backstroke, but today you're going to do a backstroke, and it's going to strengthen your IM. So sometimes removing all the focus on what you're trying to do and you're frustrated, it's not getting better, you're not being able to accomplish what your goal is, refocusing on something else can give that a break. Otherwise, you got to reel it in. It doesn't always matter what the time is because it might come later. And that's what a lot of my coaches would tell me if I was adding time or just not dropping time. They would say, you know, are you doing everything right in the pool? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking enough water? What is your diet like? You know, all these other things. If you are doing everything right and it's not clicking, you just got to be patient, which is hard.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hard to be patient, especially in this sport and in this world of instant gratification. You want results now. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Walk us through your recruiting process. So you swam at the Division I level, right? A lot of these swimmers are going to be going on to swim, whether it's at Division I, II, or III, or they want to or have aspirations to. What was the recruitment process like for you? What other schools were you recruited by, and how did you finally decide on the University of Wisconsin?
Yeah, I remember getting like my first letter in the mail that they were interested in. It was like, you know, a really small school somewhere I had never heard of, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just got a college letter. This is awesome. And then the whole process started, and it's so easy to get overwhelmed because you put so much pressure on this decision. But at the same time, what I would say to every athlete and every parent out there is to slow it down and enjoy the process because it is awesome. Like, to think that all these schools would like you to swim on their team is just awesome. From there, you got to kind of narrow it down. Do you want a big school? Do you want a small school? Do you want to, depending upon your ability as an athlete, do you want to be at the top? Do you want to be at the bottom? Does that matter? You know, do you want scholarship? Do you not need it? All these other things come into play to help you kind of narrow down your top maybe 3, top 5 schools. From there, you can take recruiting trips. So for me, it was challenging. Recruiting trips happen in the fall. That was when my high school season was. So it was really hard to be out of the water. And when you get on the trip, they'll set aside some time for practice. But is that really what you want to do when you're on the trip and nobody else is practicing? So that is a little challenging. But I took a recruiting trip to Ohio State, and my second one was Wisconsin. I had one set up for Utah, and after I went on my trip to Wisconsin, it kind of helped. My sister was a junior there already, and I'm kind of a homebody, and I went there and went to a Badger game, and it was awesome. And I said, this is absolutely where I want to go. So I canceled my recruiting trip to Utah, and that was it. But I think you can take up to 4 trips. I'm not sure if that's changed, but.
So the rest was history after that. You stayed home in Wisconsin, not too far away. As a Division I swimmer, talk a little bit about a day in the life of a D1 swimmer. So from the right in season, right?
Yes.
Talk about from the time you get up in the morning till the time you go to bed. Walk me through a day in the life of a, Big Ten Division I swimmer.
Yeah, so the practice schedule is pretty demanding when you get on campus.
So William Molson continues to lead. He will be your Heat 1 winner. Whoops, we went to results there a little too quick. What did I do here? There we go. Molson takes first, Lou second, Rantala third. Hold that thought, Anna, because that's going to be something that I think a lot of people will be interested in hearing. What is a day in the life of a D1 swimmer? I think some kids initially think there's a lot of glamour involved, and you're going to have all this free time and this and that. I think it's quite the opposite. So go ahead with your story on the life or a day of a D1 swimmer.
There definitely is free time, but you got to use it. And if you're an athlete, you don't really have that much free time. But for me, we lived in the dorm that I lived in was pretty close to one of the pools that we swam at. We had 2 pools. And we had morning practices.
What time was morning practice?
6 to 8 was the morning, and that was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday for me. And then we had afternoon practice every day at 2 to 5. And that included like a lift beforehand. And then sometimes if it wasn't a lift, we would cycle. So we did a lot of other things outside of swimming. We did rowing one summer just to keep things interesting. But every afternoon we had afternoon practice. So you only had 3 mornings, and then you have 5 afternoons, well, 4 mornings, including Saturday. And then you work with your academic advisor to make a schedule that fits within those times. Once you decide what your major is, there is a chance that you pick a class that just interferes with practice, and you either have to miss a practice or you end up having to go to a morning practice instead of that afternoon practice. You just kind of work it out with your coaches and your advisors. But, being a student athlete is so challenging. You have so much to balance. But I can speak on behalf of my own experience. At Wisconsin, they do everything they can to help you be successful. We got set up with tutors for every single one of our classes at the beginning of the semester that you had to meet with. If you ended up, not needing them, that was okay. We had study halls. We had breakfast for us after morning practice. So it is very challenging, but it is unlike anything else to be a part of, a team, to be a college athlete. It is challenging, but it's the coolest thing that you can do.
So were you used to 3-hour practices before you got to Wisconsin? What was your club practice schedule like?
Yeah, we did a lot of yardage in club. Not too many 3-hour practices, like some 2.5, maybe 3 hours on Saturday. But again, that was like maybe with 30 minutes of dry land. So yeah, we had a couple practices in college, like on Monday mornings or Friday mornings. They were just aerobic sets. So it would be things that it doesn't matter if you're a sprinter or an IMer or a distance swimmer or strictly a freestyler. We're all going to go 400 IMs. And if you struggle, you struggle. But you're going to get better for this. So, and then there would be other practices throughout the week that you would be split up into your specialty, whether you were a sprinter, mid-distance, distance, stroke, freestyle, things like that.
Talk a little bit about lifting. So
Yeah.
I think lifting is a polarizing subject, right? Because what's the appropriate age for both men and women to begin lifting?
Right.
Did you lift prior to college? And when you did get to Wisconsin, I'm sure you guys had a state-of-the-art athletic facility and weight room and all that stuff. What was that like, and how is that lifting different from what you were used to before college?
Yeah, in club we did not do any lifting. We would do a lot of body weight stuff, or we would do like TRX workouts, or some running, stairs, abs, pretty basic stuff. So in college, once we got into it, it was a lot, little overwhelming. But as freshmen, the upperclassmen are there to show you all of the technique that you need to know, because the last thing that you want is somebody who's inexperienced coming into the weight room and getting hurt. So same with the coaches too. The weight coaches slow everything down. The first couple weeks of practice are all how we do the technique, structure, everything like that. You start with pretty lightweight, and then next thing you know, you're a senior and you're helping the freshmen, and it's a good place to be in.
Next thing you know, you're in the weight room and you're squatting with the offensive lineman.
Yes, that's what happens next.
Sean Bailey continues to lead the way from executive. It is Christopher Raymond. in lane 2, running in second from Seacoast right now. There's the bell for both Bailey and Raymond. Raymond only 0.8 of a second behind, so we'll see if he can mount a little bit of a comeback here. I think they see each other. They were both breathing toward the inside, even though Raymond's in lane 2, Bailey's in lane 9. They had some clear open water ahead of them, but it looks like it will be Sean Bailey from Executive who takes it. So Bailey came in with the time of, where is Bailey? 5:04.22. He goes a 4:51.56, so a big time drop for Bailey. Raymond takes second. Vonner takes third. We'll move into our third of 5 heats here in the men's 500 free to close out our morning. It's been great having Anna Meinholz from E3 Performance with us. I do have a question on that lifting that we'll follow up with in 1 second. Here are your lane assignments for heat number 3. Top time coming in belongs to Quinn Caputo, 4:54.40. So you get to Wisconsin, you really get your first taste at real lifting.
Yes.
You know, it's not just plyometrics and abs and all of that stuff. How do you feel lifting impacted your performance in the pool? Where did you see your biggest gains in terms of time drops once you got to college, prior to college? Talk a little bit about that.
I would say what happens to your body when you are a freshman in college to the time you are a sophomore or a junior, it's a big change. And a lot of that is lifting, and a lot of that is a different type of training that you're used to, maybe a little bit more demanding. But putting on muscle, it's all kind of a science, and everybody has to communicate. Like, there are women that put on muscle really quickly. There are women that, don't put it on as quickly, or, some lift heavy, some can't lift quite as heavy, but they look ripped. So I would say our coaches worked really hard with, our swim coaches worked really hard with our weights coach. Our weights coach did a lot of research on swimming to figure out, what different lifts would help sprinters, what different lifts would help mid-distance. So sprinters need a lot of quick twitch, so we would do a lot of explosive movements. So I would say it correlated pretty significantly, especially when it was narrowed down to what you were doing.
So you definitely saw a transformation of
Yeah.
your own body when you were a freshman to the time you graduated.
Yes.
For sure.
Yep.
And along with that, I'm sure came faster times,
Yep.
better performance in the pool. Talk about nutrition, right? So I think nutrition is one of the hardest things for all of us, and it never ends, right?
It never ends.
The
No.
the temptation for not eating the cleanest is always there. I know.
And in college, all the non-clean foods are always there, too.
They're always in front of you. There's chicken fingers and fries
Yes.
at every single turn. So talk about the nutrition part. Were you always, or are you always have been a clean eater? Or when you get to, how did you do that in college? How did you avoid those temptations?
Yeah, I mean, for a while I didn't avoid them. So that's kind of how it all started. And then you have people, when you're younger, whether your parents cook for you, you have less control over it. And sometimes that's a good thing. Actually, most of the time when you're younger, that's a good thing. And then once you go into college, if you're not an athlete, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of the freshman 15. You're now kind of in control, so you have to decide how you're going to eat, how much you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, things like that, and it's hard. For us, we had a nutritionist that would come and talk to us, and if people had excess weight and the coaches, in the most kind and politeful way wanted to work with you on that, they would set up an appointment with the nutritionist, and she would just say, hey, let's put more focus on this. Let's focus on this. These are, really good snacks that you can have if you're hungry. And I mean, swimmers, we're hungry all the time.
Of
for the
course,
most part.
with all those
So,
calories you're burning.
Yeah. So I think it's just being mindful about what you're snacking on when you want to snack. But it's also hard, too, because you could eat a certain way and still look great. You could eat poor and still perform at a super high level. So sometimes you got to think, what is the diet? What's the additional edge that it can give me, even if I'm already doing well? Like, if I ate better, how could that help me?
Were your roommates from freshman year all swimmers?
So I was the only girl on the swim team, but I roomed with a diver. All the other swimmers were together. It's funny, I was really nervous about it too when I was like, why can't I be with a swimmer? But it worked out really well because you're with each other all the time. We weren't with the divers quite as often, so I had a good freshman year roommate.
So there's the bell from Matvey Malinowski in lane 8 from Crimson. Once again, he's been leading all the way through. Came in with a time of 4:55.10. It's Casey La Liberty running in second. Quinn Caputo in third right now. So Matvey Malinowski, the 16-year-old from Crimson, will be your Heat 3 winner. He's in lane 8. 4:49 flat for Malinowski. It's a 6-second drop for him. Need takes second. La Liberty takes third. Caputo fourth. Song, Russell Church, York, Harrington, and Burke round out the top 10 as we move into our second to last heat of the morning. Once again, join us back at 4:45 for finals tonight. Should be an exciting finals. 2 IM, 50 free, 2 breast, 500 free. Here are your lane assignments for heat number 4. Aiden Kelly comes in with the top time, 4:32.61, so he's 4 seconds faster. And Anna, I asked the question about roommates because I would assume it would be very difficult if you were a swimmer and you were on a specific schedule and your roommates weren't.
Yeah.
You were trying to eat a certain way and your roommates weren't. Let me ask you this, because this is another thing that I don't think a lot of kids realize. Being a D1 or just a collegiate athlete, along with a course load equivalent to, your freshman year, how did that get into your social life? So
since I went to a school that was 45 minutes from where I was from, a lot of other kids from my high school or that I knew on other local teams also went to that school. I didn't really get to hang out. Like, some of my best friends from high school went to Wisconsin, and I wouldn't get to hang out with them or see them as much as I really thought I was going into college, just because we had our eyes set on different things. So I think that is really hard in the beginning, but your other friends will understand. They should understand, and you got to kind of take ownership and responsibility, like that you are here for a different mission, and your opportunities will come that you can, go and socialize and get little breaks throughout the season after February, March, after conference and NCs. You get a little break that you can go and socialize. It starts to warm up at that time in Wisconsin, so everyone had plenty of that. But yeah, it is kind of it's just an interesting transition because those friendships are a little tested.
Of course.
But no, it's good. It's good.
You talked earlier around when you were selecting a college, what was your end goal? Not just you, but swimmers in general. And you talked a little bit about, do you want to be at the top or do you want to swim conferences, right? So it's only the top swimmers on each team that swim conferences, or how does that work?
Well, it kind of depends upon how big the team is. Like, I know some colleges recruit, they have huge classes and they might have a women's team of 50, but you only get so many swims at your conference meet. And that includes divers as well. So I don't know, I don't even recall what the exact number is, but so at that point, not everyone is swimming at conference. At Wisconsin, we did have everyone swim at conference. We had a team of I want to say maybe 20 to 24. So we had a smaller team to be able to do that. But sometimes not everybody traveled. We would go and have a dual meet a weekend where we would fly out and dual Cal and Stanford on the same weekend, and not everyone would get to travel for that meet. So there's a little competitiveness there because you don't want to be, I mean,
Sure.
at 24 girls, you're taking 18, only 6 of you are not making it. So
Were you ever left behind?
I was not left
Look
behind.
at you, Anna, never left behind. But I can, you know, you make a good point there. There is, that does drive some healthy competitiveness within
Definitely.
the team because, you know, I'm sure you guys all got along and everything, but you don't want to be one of those 6. And inevitably, somebody is going to be one of those 6.
Right, right.
That get left behind. And I would imagine it was probably underclassmen a lot.
There were underclassmen. For us, we did have like 2 upperclassmen that maybe didn't make it all the time because I came in as a freshman. It was the first full year of that coach. So there were some swimmers from a coach prior, and depending upon who he brought in to be on the team, there were a couple upperclassmen that didn't travel.
And that's tough.
That is tough. Yep, to see the freshmen go.
And not
But
you.
Yeah.
So the bell rings for Aiden Kelly and Thomas Powers Hammond. Here we go, folks. 0.2 of a second apart. Kelly in lane 5, Thomas Powers Hammond in lane 6. They've been battling the whole race, switching back and forth between first and second. It's Kelly in lane 5, Powers Hammond in lane 6, and it looks like it's Powers Hammond who has accelerated a little bit through the final 25 at the flags and the wall, and he will outtouch Kelly by 0.3 of a second. Thomas Powers Hammond goes 4:36.81. Kelly goes a 4:37.07. Morse takes third in a 4:45.46. There are your final results as we head into our final heat of the morning. Again, we appreciate everyone taking the time to join us here. If you are thinking about attending finals tonight or even prelims tomorrow morning, I would assume the bigger crowd will be at prelims because it's the bigger pool of swimmers. The stands did fill up pretty quick here this morning. I'm sure finals it will be spread out a little bit more. There are your lane assignments for a final swims of the morning here. We've had, Anna, we've had some swimmers talk about during their college selection process, one of the biggest things in determining where they wanted to go was getting to meet their prospective teammates ahead of time on those visits.
Right.
And what's the vibe there, right? Because what good is it going to a school, whether it's D1, 2, or 3, you know, being at the top, but you're not vibing with your teammates. There's not a lot in common.
Yeah.
It creates. So what was that situation like for you when you went to visit Wisconsin, when you went to visit, what was the other school that you went
Ohio
to?
State.
Ohio State, the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
What was the vibe like with each of those teams when you went there?
So Ohio State has separate men and women's teams. So on my trip, we pretty much hung out with the women's team the whole time. Wisconsin is combined, so like all the activities that we do on a recruiting trip, and it's fun. They show up for you. They take you to a game. You know, we did like a corn maze. We did pumpkins because it was fall. All those things.
You went to an Ohio State football game too?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and they take you on the field.
Michigan? Ohio State, Michigan?
No, it wasn't Ohio State.
No, they
Michigan.
wouldn't take it. They didn't take you to that one. That would have been the great game to go to, right?
Yeah.
With that storied rivalry.
My junior year, the recruiting process has changed so much even since I was a junior, and I'm only 28. But when I was a junior, I got tickets to go to a Wisconsin football game from the previous coach that was there before the coach that I had. And that was when Wisconsin was like ranked. I don't even know if Wisconsin was ranked. And we played Ohio State, which was ranked number 1, and we beat them, and everyone ran the field, and it was just.
There's
I was
nothing
a
better.
junior in high school. I was like, wow, I want to go here. This is awesome.
That's definitely a great experience. So if you could give swimmers and athletes that are listening to this and thinking about swimming in college or have aspirations to swim in college, maybe what's the 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you would give to them, you know, with hindsight, having hindsight, have already gone through this process, what would be 1 or 2 things that you would give to them as advice to help, you know, prepare for that?
That's a tough one. I would say that you just got to keep in mind what it is that you want. You know, do you want to swim? What are your goals as an individual, and what program, and your goals outside of swimming, not just swimming? Like, what do you, because unfortunately, there will be a time that swimming's going to end for everybody. So what are your goals as an individual? What do you want to do when swimming is over, and where do you see yourself swimming? All those things come into play. Specific schools have specific majors that you can't find everywhere. So you got to figure out what it is that you want to do for your career, or along with what you want to do with your sport. So I would say keep in mind the big picture, the level that you want to be at as an athlete, also as a person, and go to a place that you feel like you mesh with the team. That's a huge thing. That's going to make or break your entire experience. And I know now you can recruit at such a young age that I think you got to be careful, because you could, you know, verbally commit to a place that as a, you know, you can verbally commit as a sophomore, maybe as a junior now. And you could have a different coach when you get there. The team is going to be maybe half or less than half of what it was when you went on your trip. So, you know, try to get the big picture of what the vibe is, what the coaching strategy is, you know, how the team meshes. Is it boys and girls? Do you want to be on on separate programs?
That's actually a good point.
That's probably not a good answer to your question.
No,
it's so broad.
No, it is. But you know what's important is that coach piece, right? So finding out you can find this stuff out. What's the length of your coach's contract? Is he in the final year of a contract when you're being recruited, right?
That's all public.
Is the team doing good, not doing good? Is he in chance or she in chance of losing her position?
Right.
Because those are things that, sure, you can enter the transfer protocol now, but maybe other schools, maybe you're an IMer, and the other schools that you want to go to, they're all set with IMers.
Right.
So then what do you do? Anna, this has been great. Certainly appreciate you taking the time. Yeah, this has been fantastic. Hubert Wong in lane 5 will be our winner in our final heat of the morning. So, folks, this will conclude our morning session. Wong had a soft touch at the wall there. So check Meet Mobile for his official time. So these standings will be off by 1, with Hubert Wong taking first, Reynoso Williams second, Luke Jagier third. We'll be back at 4:45 tonight for finals. On behalf of Anna Meinholz, I am Jeremy Abreu. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. We'll see everyone tonight at 4:45, just making sure we're done. All right, yep, we're moving into time trials, so we are all set. We will talk to you tonight, folks. Have a great day.